Hello and welcome to day 2 of the 7-day career growth challenge with me, MEI PHING. Super excited that you are still here. So in the last training, we talked about why it's so important to be able to identify your career goal so that you will have the inner motivation of wanting to take action to move forward. So in this training, I want to help you to identify and know what your value actually is. Now, when it comes to pinpointing how you're adding value, we must first identify what those value points are. So the mistake that I see in many 9 to 5 working professionals is that they go to work every single day. You clock in, you clock out, you do a bunch of busy work. Every day is so busy. You work long hours, all this chaos that's happening around. But at the end of the day, why are you working so hard for? At the end of the day, what are you trying to achieve? Surprisingly, a lot of people struggle to explain what is their main job. What exactly are they doing at the workplace? So, in this training, we really need to button down how to identify your value because you cannot add value unless you know what this value that you're trying to add actually is. So, first things first is I want to tell you that you are adding value every single day. You are adding value every single day at work. And do not have the mindset that adding value means I must do something bombastic. It must be something big, right? I need to be a public speaker. I need to go and impress the whole world. It's not correct. So, from a management standpoint, right, the fact that you got hired, you are providing value in exchange for your salary, in exchange for your employment contract. That is the truth. So, that actually is the value that you are providing and you are giving to the company in this job. So instead of thinking too far about something that is big and bombastic, that is so difficult to identify, I want you to bring it down back to earth, bring it down back to reality, and really identify what are the 3 things that if you do not do well at your current job right now, you're probably going to get fired. You're probably going to get told that, hey, this is not okay. You have not met expectations. How come you didn't finish this piece of work? How come this piece of work is not done correctly? Right? So if you're hearing things like that, it means that that is the core requirements that you are hired to do, right? So your main roles and responsibilities. That actually is the value that you are providing. So I want you to stop saying that I have no value to add. How do I add value? How do I add value? The fact that you are hired means that you are adding value every single day at work. But the struggle point is for a lot of people is to really outline line by line, bullet by bullet, what these things actually are. Like, what am I actually doing at work? So, in this training right now, I'm going to give you a specific exercise. And this exercise is going to be so important because if you don't know what your value is, you cannot clearly articulate your roles and responsibilities, then it is going to be almost impossible to be able to let your boss know that you're doing a good job. It's going to be impossible to level up in your career. It's going to be impossible to convince a hiring manager, HR, or recruiter that you deserve the next opportunity if you can't even explain what you are doing at your job right now. So this may sound so fundamental, but it's actually the fundamental things that will set you up for long-term success in the corporate world. So this is today's exercise. I want you to write down what are the 3 main responsibilities, right? The 3 main things that you're currently doing at your job right now that if you don't do it, you're probably going to get fired. If you don't do it, your boss is going to be very angry with you. If you don't do it, probably you're going to be a low performer this year. If you don't do it, probably you're going to get a very bad performance rating. If you don't do it, you'll probably not get any bonus. And basically, if you don't do these 3 things and you don't do these 3 things well, you're going to get into big trouble. Now, write those 3 things down because those exact 3 things are the main value that you bring in your current job. So write this down because I'm going to help connect every single thing together with you as we progress with the trainings. But as I said, it's going to be impossible to know how to add value if you don't know what these values are. So take a little bit of time, really write down the 3 things that you need to complete and you need to do a good job, high quality, per timeline in your current day-to-day job. That if you don't do well, you're going to get into huge trouble. So write down these 3 things and I'll see you in tomorrow's training.